Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another video, and back with, it's been a while since I did another DVD update. So, I have another big stack of films I have right here. Which, the next video, which I'll do a anime update though, but this is for DVD for films and stuff, so I got another big pile right here. Let me scoot this back so you can see better. So, start with the first pile right here. These. First off, it's another one of Van Damme's direct-to-video films, which I would say I like a lot of Van Damme's direct-to-video movies, which a lot better than Steven Seagal's movies, you know. This one, I think I remember I saw this a long time ago. I think I remember liking it, but that's why I got it, so I could rewatch again. So if I remember if I did like it, and that is of 6 Bullets. Like I said, he has a hell of a better track record than Seagal was, you know. Because I like quite a few of his direct-to-video films, you know. Like I like The Order. I like I really enjoy The Shepherd Border Patrol, In Hell, Assassination Games. I didn't like though, but what was that other one? Wake of Death. That's another one I really like. But there's been quite... Enemies Closer. Was that direct-to-video? Because that was the one that Peter Hyams... He used once again, directed, but with Peter Hyams. I think that was direct-to-video, I think. But, 6 Bullets, I think I remember liking this. Well, that's why I got this so I can rewatch again, though. So I got that. Next is a couple of old... Some of... You can say oldies ones. This one is of the 1976 film, and that is of Black Sunday, starring Robert Shaw, Bruce Dern, and Mark Keller, and directed by John Frankenheimer, really enough, and also scored by John Williams, you know, who did a lot of memorable scores for Spielberg's movies. Black Sunday. Yeah, sorry, Robert Shaw, he passed away. He passed away a few years after this movie. Young Bruce Dern, you know, father of actress Laura Dern. I've heard of Black Sunday for a long time though, but I never. It's another one I really never got a chance to watch. I know my dad's seen this film, so my dad has seen this film, so that's why I have to get it. Next is. So next up is a film that's been directed by the late Michael Crichton, which is also based on his novel as well, The Great Train Robbery, starring the late Sean Connery, Donald Sutherland, Leslie Ann Down. Yeah, it's written, directed by Michael Crichton, the author of Jurassic Park, Congo, Rising Sun, which is also based on his novel as well. And Michael Crichton is, I would say, he made it make a decent. He's a decent director, you know. Not only being the author of Jurassic Park and stuff like that. Another of his books though, like Sphere, Timeline, which so those films as we're watching it though. But still, but he as a director, he directed Westworld, which with Yul Brynner, Richard Benjamin, and James Brolin. He also another one was based on his book was the which became a miniseries, The Andromeda Strain. Yeah, and also music by Jerry Goldsmith, my favorite composer. I love Jerry Goldsmith. He's always been my favorite composer from many films I've mentioned, from some of the Star Trek movies, Deep Rising. Congo, many movies. I have always loved Small Soldiers, The Mummy, While You Were Sleeping, or I meant Sleeping with the Enemy. That's what I meant. Many movies that Jerry Goldsmith has done that I've always enjoyed. I love Jerry Goldsmith. May he rest in peace. You know, that's why he's always been my favorite composer. He always has his way of doing scores differently. So he did the score for this film. So. And especially, I love Sean Connery. I always enjoyed Donald Sutherland. So yeah, it was cool. You know, Michael Crichton based on his book, and he directed the film based on his own story. You know, so I have to give I've always heard about the Great Train Robbery, so I have to watch that first time. The next one is gonna be a real bad movie. I'm sorry to say, the title alone, I'm like, jeez. It's another one of those ridiculous shark movies. I'm surprised it's not made by the Asylum, you know, did all those ridiculous Sharknado movies or those different shark whatever movies from the Asylum, you know. I'm surprised this is not made by the Asylum. But if I do, this is going to be another very fun rant. That's just... The title alone, it sounds ridiculous as well. House Shark. You're going to need a bigger house. I mean, jeez. You're going to need a bigger house. Couldn't just put it more blatantly on the nose, could it? I mean, yeah. House Shark. Is there enough to be said about this ridiculous title? Just when you thought it was safe to go home. Couldn't you just be more freaking ridiculous with the puns, you know? And this person from whoever his name is back here says from Boston Hassel, saying one of the most entertaining films I've seen in a long time. Really. Jeez. I already know what I'm going to be getting myself into when I watch this. I mean, come on, you see the ridiculousness and silliness of this. Like I said, I'm surprised it's not been made by the Asylum. Or it could be just one of those like very low budget. They've probably been made for like about $10, you know. You know, one of those homemade movies, you know. Yeah. So, House Sharks. You already know that's gonna sound stupid and ridiculous. Next is a film that stars Demi Moore and Jeff Daniels, and that is of the Butcher's Wife. Probably another romantic, probably another a romance film. But hey, you know, I like Demi Moore. I like Jeff Daniels. You know, Jeff Daniels for starring Dumb and Dumber, Speed, Arachnophobia. I love. Of course, Demi Moore from Ghost, G.I. Jane, and also among you have Frances McDormand, and you have Mary Steenburgen. Mary Steenburgen will later star in the CSI TV show, and she's also in Erin Brockovich, Species. But yeah, probably another romance film, The Butcher's Wife. But hey, I like Jeff Daniels a lot, so give that a watch for him. Next is the one starring Al Pacino, and that is of Sea of Love. See, and it's starring Al Pacino. You got Ellen Burstyn and also John Goodman, another actor I've always enjoyed. I always enjoyed John Goodman. I always like Al Pacino. So probably like I said, probably another erotic thriller. It says on the back here, so highly, yeah. Al Pacino gives a critically acclaimed performance in this highly charged erotic thriller. Yeah, and even Siskel and Ebert gives this a thumbs up. You know, Sea of Love is a sexy thriller. So I'll be sure to give this a watch. As I said, I enjoy Al Pacino. I always enjoyed John Goodman, so be sure to give this a watch. Sea of Love. Next is this one is considered a very classic movie, which I've always heard another film I've always heard for a long time though, but I never got a chance to watch the film actually. And it's another film that also with the music is also done by Jerry Goldsmith as well, starring Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. Chinatown. This is the Centennial Collection right here. I've always heard about Chinatown. I just never got around to watch this, you know, because I like Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway as well. You also got Burt Young as well, and John Huston, and directed by which I'm not really big on the director, Roman Polanski. He directed this. I mean, I'm not really big on this guy because I wasn't big on Rosemary's Baby, The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp. What was the other one he directed that Roman Polanski did? I forget though. I know there's another film he directed that I know of though. Just it escapes me right now. But yeah, Roman Polanski, I'm not really big on though. I know the whole thing with Sharon Tate, you know, but the Charles Manson things. But also, but thing is, it doesn't excuse all the things that he has done. I mean, the reason why he's banned from America, you know. That's why he has that appearance in Rush Hour 3, you know, when Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, they both punch him together, you know. You go this way, I go this way. Poof. So yeah, but that's a whole another story though. But I'm just saying as my personal preference, I'm not really big on Roman Polanski though. But I know over the years it's been done as a classic, so that's why I'll give it a watch. Chinatown. Next is a mystery. I think it was a mystery comedy. I think it is. And this is another one that Roger Ebert, may rest in peace, he gives this one a pass, calls it ingenious and delightful, and it stars Bill Pullman and Ben Stiller, and that is of Zero Effect, the world's most private detective. Yeah, 2 thumbs up, way up. Also from Siskel and Ebert. I like Bill Pullman and Ben Stiller, so. Probably a comedy one as well, so. And also it stars Kim Dickens, who, remember Kim Dickens, she was in Mercury Rise, and she was the woman that that Bruce Willis left boy Simon in her care. She was also in Hollow Man. She would later go and star in Fear the Walking Dead. But I haven't seen this one because I like both actors. I like Bill Pullman, you know, Ben Stiller. So I'll give this a watch. So it's Zero Effect. Next is of a film that stars Robert Redford, and that is of The Natural. Yes, so Robert stars Robert Redford. You got Robert Duvall, Glenn Close, Kim Basinger, Wilford Brimley, Robert Prosky, and Richard Farnsworth. Richard Farnsworth, remember, he was the sheriff in Stephen King's Misery, sadly, when he got shot by Kathy Bates. Wilford Brimley, who's also now passed away, starting from John Carpenter's Thing as Blair. He was in Hard Target with Van Damme. Many other roles, including also when he did those that diabetes commercial. And of course, you know about Glenn Close and Robert Duvall as well. Robert Prosky is the guy in Stephen King's Christine. He was the Keith Gordon's boss who died when Christine raised the seat up and got crushed against the steering wheel. He was also in Mrs. Doubtfire and Last Action Hero as well. But yeah, Robert Redford, another memorable actor I enjoy as well. The Natural. Next is, which I think this is I think this film is underrated. This one, a lot of people hate the movie, but I will defend this film, and that is of the 2003 of Hulk. This is the 2-disc special edition from director Ang Lee, which this is one that a lot of people don't like, but I like the Hulk. I think it's underrated, and I will defend this 2003 film. You know. I don't think Eric Bana was not that bad as Bruce Banner, the Hulk, and Sam Elliott I always liked, and you have Nick Nolte as well, Josh Lucas, Jennifer Connelly. Music by Danny Elfman. But I never thought that the 2003 Hulk movie was not that bad. I'm sorry. If people don't like the film, that's fine, but I like Hulk. I don't think it was not that bad of a movie, so I can still defend. I mean, I do like the 2008 The Incredible Hulk, the MCU film though, but this one I don't think it's not as bad as people make it out to be. And next, there's another one. It's a Michael Bay film, which I'm not really big on though. But it's a 4-disc director's cut though, so you know I'm always a sucker. I'm always a sucker for special editions. You know. Sorry about that cut there. I mean, I had to sneeze and had to blow my nose, so none of you didn't want to see that, so that's why I cut that part out though. Sorry. So, anyway, back I was saying, it's a film that's I'm not really big on that Michael Bay directed, but the thing is, this is a 4-disc director's cut edition. So, like I said, I'm always a sucker for special editions on film. So this is of Pearl Harbor, which is, like I said, this is the director's cut. It's a 4-disc set. So unfolds like so, and opens up, you know, like it's a book. I mean, look at that. I mean, I think that's it's a cool looking special. I think it's a cool looking special edition. I mean, that's why I'm always a sucker for these, you know. Although I'm not really big on the movie though. I mean, the whole love triangle between Josh Hartnett, Ben Affleck, and Kim Beckinsale, you know. Well, it's not a movie that's, you know, based on the tragic of Pearl Harbor, you know, but you know what? Hey, it's a special edition, so I can keep it for this because there's a lot of features I like to be interested in watching, you know. So I'm always a sucker for these type of special editions. So yeah. Next, we have another one that stars Robert Redford and also with Bill Pullman. That is of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And also you also have Catherine Ross in here as well. Two actors you always enjoy, like Paul Newman and Robert Redford. So we got that there. Next is of Gorky Park, starring William Hurt and Lee Marvin. William Hurt, who passed away last year, I believe. Yeah, I think he passed away last year. Rest in peace to William Hurt, another actor who's now gone. You also have Brian Dennehy in here as well. Music by the late James Horner. Of course, James Horner, of course, known for doing his scores like from Aliens and among others. But yeah, William Hurt. This is a film that my dad actually recommended me to watch, saying it's a good movie. So especially for starring William Hurt. So I'll be sure to give this a watch. Gorky Park. Next is the Western horror film called The Burrowers. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of recognizable actors I know is in this because the text here is dark. So yeah, you got Sean Patrick Thomas. Who I remember who was known for starring in Save the Last Dance. He was also in Halloween Resurrection. He was the character Rudy, you know. The one that Michael Myers got hung up on the door, got stabbed 3 times, and he hung there. And you got Doug Hutchison, probably known for playing Percy from The Green Mile. One of the very hated character Percy in The Green Mile. And Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown, of course, Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob, and recently appeared in John Wick 4, and he's been, and of course, from many other movies, of course, though, but course, everyone knows Clancy Brown. He's Mr. Krabs. But it's a Western horror film. Give this a watch. So, not too many Western horrors, you know. So this is the Burrowers. Next is the film. The last film that I think it was no. Was it the last film he did? Because this came out just before he passed away, and this came out in 2019. So, and that is of 21 Bridges, starring Chadwick Boseman, which was very sad of what happened. You know, of course, you know, from playing T'Challa, the Black Panther from the MCU. You know, it was and the film is also produced by the Russo brothers, who did Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. Among that, you have Keith David, another actor I've always enjoyed. Keith David. You got J.K. Simmons, Taylor Kitsch. I'm not really big on. You know, he starred in John Carter and Battleship. Of course, also what was the one he did? He played Gambit from X-Men Origins Wolverine. But 21 Bridges, you know, it's just sad about what happened with Chadwick Boseman, you know. I mean, the whole time since he debuted from Captain America: Civil War, he was battling colon cancer, and throughout this whole entire his work on the MCU, and it was sad, you know, sad about Chadwick Boseman. But 21 Bridges, I didn't really watch because it would have Chadwick Boseman, but I'll finally give time to watch around. So next is from the 70s movie, another 70s film. What year this came out? Didn't quite say though, but this is of the Philadelphia Experiment. Stars Nicholas Leah, Michael Pare, Brian Roberts, and Malcolm McDowell's in this. Of course, this course is based on the whole thing about the whole myth of the battle of the destroyer ship of the USS Eldridge. You know, the whole thing. There was that whole thing, that myth of, you know, they try to make this battleship like disappear or teleport to another part of whatever. Yeah, I remember it was that whole thing of that whole myth of this battleship, you know, or the destroyer, you know. They say about it how they can successfully make a ship invisible or whatever, you know. So there was that whole myth thing. So, but like I said, it was real or was this a myth, you know? So, but that's of the Philadelphia Experiment. Next is a film that stars Michael Keaton, and that is of My Life. Sorry, Michael Keaton and Nicole Kidman. And it's actually produced by Jerry Zucker. And Jerry Zucker has been done mostly comedies, but also did with directed when he directed Ghost, you know, Jerry Zucker. Always been a big fan of Michael Keaton, so more to add to the collection here. Next is of one that's called Rails and Ties, starring Kevin Bacon, Marcia Gay Harden. And really enough, it's directed by Alison Eastwood, daughter of actor and director Clint Eastwood. So Clint Eastwood's daughter directed this film. I was like, okay, cool. Daughter of Clint Eastwood directed the film and stars Kevin Bacon. Okay. And also you have the music by, well, there's two people doing the music, but one of them is actually Kyle Eastwood. Also the son also the son of Clint Eastwood as well. I'm like, okay, a little bit of family working on this movie, you know. And the daughter of Clint Eastwood working on directing the movie. Son, Kyle Eastwood help doing the music. Plus, I loved Kevin Bacon from Tremors, Footloose, among others. And speaking of Clint Eastwood, another film that he stars and directed, The Bridges of Madison County, starring Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep, which he is, like I said, he's also starred, produced, and directed. So yeah, always enjoyed Clint, always loved Clint Eastwood. Meryl Streep always been a good actress. Next is like a, I think it was this mystery thriller or whatever. I don't know, I haven't seen it though, but it's called Resting Place, starring Morgan Freeman and John Lithgow. And you also have M. Emmett Walsh. It's also in this film as well. But to another one with two good actors, Morgan Freeman and John Lithgow. Resting Place. Next is of Rainmaker. From director Francis Ford Coppola, starring Matt Damon. You got Danny DeVito. You got also, among others, you got Claire Danes. We got Mickey Rourke and Jon Voight. And also Michael Douglas is helped produce on this movie as well. Michael Douglas, he produced it, didn't star it though, but it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola. So the Rainmaker. Next is another, which I have saw a long time ago though, and I honestly thought this was the least of the disaster movies. This is very boring, honestly, and it's too bad because. But I'll make sure maybe I'll rewatch it, and maybe because I saw this long ago, so maybe my thoughts will change though. But the thing is though, it stars Sean Connery. I mean, like I said, I always loved Sean Connery, but it is of Meteor. For what I remember, it was very boring though, but maybe if I watch it again, maybe it'll change. Who knows? Or maybe my thoughts will stay the same though. I mean, you have a decent cast, you know. I mean, like I said, you got Sean Connery, you got Natalie Wood, Brian Keith, Carl Malden is in it, Martin Landau, and Trevor Howard, Richard Durst. If I remember, he was in John Carpenter's The Thing. And you got Henry Fonda, who plays the president. Henry Fonda, father of actress Jane Fonda and Peter Fonda. But maybe my thoughts will change, or maybe it'll still stay the same. But like I said, I only saw this film long ago. I remember it was being a boring movie, though. So sadly, I mean, Sean Connery, he's not the problem. I mean, because Sean Connery hardly gives a bad performance. Although a couple of goofy ones he's done though, but still, hey, no one's perfect though. Next, I got this big complete collection, which I already have though, but this whole big box that caught my eye though, and that is the collection of the Sherlock Holmes films that starring Basil Rathbone. I mean, I already have this. So I think when I reviewed a couple of them long time ago when I first started though, right? It was like a small DVD case like this though, right? But this caught my eye when it was showed in a bigger box set, you know, which this looked pretty much cooler, you know. Because I love the Sherlock Holmes movies that Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce star in. Me and my dad could watch these over and over again and never get tired of them. I love Basil Rathbone. Basil Rathbone will always be the one true Sherlock Holmes, as does of Nigel Bruce as Dr. Watson. Me and my dad will watch these all the time. I grew up watching these films with my father, and my grandpa liked the Sherlock Holmes films as well, which I always miss him. But I love the Sherlock Holmes films, from everything from The Voice of Terror, The Secret Weapon, when he goes to Washington, The Scarlet Claw, Pearl of Death, The Spider Woman, The House of Fear, which is my favorite. The Woman in Green, Pursuit to Algiers, Terror by Night, Dressed to Kill, Faces Death, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and of course the very first one, The Hounds of the Baskervilles. So yeah, Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce, they'll always be the one true Holmes and Watson. I love these films to death. Me and my dad love these films. But I figured because I saw this as a bigger box set, that's why I can because it was cooler. It's cool looking, you know. The bigger, thicker box set and a cooler cover, you know. So the Sherlock Holmes collection. Finally, getting down to it now. The last two of the two films that came out last year, two of the new films that came out last year, and which are both Oscar-winning movies. First off, which I'll be sure to watch because this is the film that Brendan Fraser won the Oscar for, The Whale. Which the film also won for best makeup and makeup effects. And Brendan Fraser won the Oscar for Best Actor, which I would say he deserved, you know, because Brendan Fraser, you know, of course, everyone would probably know him from playing Rick O'Connell from The Mummy, you know. But I always liked him among other films, from Encino Man, Airheads I reviewed long ago, George of the Jungle. Of course, he did some pretty bad ones. I mean, long ago I reviewed Furry Vengeance. That was awful. You know, Brendan Fraser embarrassing himself, making a fool of himself in that movie. Especially the scene where he's in that bathtub in tomato sauce and the animals give him a bra to wear. I mean, come on. I mean, Brendan Fraser has done better. I mean, of course, The Mummy, everybody remembers him from the most. He was in Crash as well with Sandra Bullock, among other films, though. And I think Furry Vengeance was the worst film he's done. But here, he recently he's been making his comeback, you know, over the past couple years, and this cemented it. You know, he won the Oscar for The Whale, which I would say roughly he deserves because he's an actor that I've always think he should be given a chance to win an Oscar, you know, and he proved it with this. And directed by Darren Aronofsky, who directed Requiem for a Dream, which I liked. Although I wasn't not really big on Black Swan, though. I wasn't really big on Black Swan. Did he direct? I don't remember. Did he direct Annihilation with Natalie Portman? I forget. But I'll be sure to. I'm really sure I'm keen again to watch this, you know, because like I said, I like Brendan Fraser. And see if he does a pretty good performance of him doing how he deserved his Oscar for The Whale. So, and the last film, which the film I enjoyed, which won which won the most Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, and for Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and for Best Supporting Actress, and that is of Everything Everywhere All at Once. And yes, it's a film by A24 that I enjoyed, because it's not a horror film. As I said this time and time again, when A24 is not making horror films, I've enjoyed. I enjoyed this film. I like The Disaster Artist, Uncut Gems. I really did enjoy. You know, I mean, just A24. They just need to stick to making these kind of movies. Stop making overrated piece of garbage horror films like Midsommar or Hereditary, The Killing of the Sacred Deer, It Comes at Night, The Witch, The Lighthouse. I did not like either. Tusk. All these horror films they've done, which Men, X, which are also from last year, I did not like either. A24, stop making horror films and make more films like The Disaster Artist or this film or Uncut Gems, because you get more better praise and more better, you know. And really enough, this film is the highest grossing one this studio ever has done. Also, I forgot to mention Lamb with the muted lamb child, you know. Forgot that one. It went over my head on that one. Jeez. And this became the highest grossing film that this studio has done. I wonder if that says something to you guys. Hello? But yeah, Michelle Yeoh I thought she really did a great job in this film. She deserved her Oscar. I really enjoyed Michelle Yeoh as an actress as well. I think she does a really good job in this film, and she deservedly won her Oscar. You got Ki Ha Kwan. Really enough, you see him right there. Yeah, from Indiana Jones: The Temple of Doom. He played Shorty, and he also played Data from The Goonies. I'm like, damn, that's him from The Goonies and Temple of Doom? Jeez. Where has he been after all these years, And he just he just pops back up now, and he wins an Oscar for supporting actor. Okay. Of course, there was also that moment when the film won for Best Picture, and he came up to when Harrison Ford was up there, and he to get that sweet little reunion, from hey, Indy. Shorty, after all the years, he goes and hugs Harrison Ford. That was cool. And also you have Jamie Lee Curtis, who won for Best Supporting Actress as well. And James Hong is also in this, which another actor I liked from from Big Trouble in Little China, who played David Lo Pan, among other films. And I enjoy Everything Everywhere All at Once. It just goes to show something. A24, stop making films like overrated garbage like those horror films, and start making more movies like this. And when this film makes more money and it wins Oscars, that says something, I never understood all those praises all those hype praises that those horror films have got. I mean, Midsommar and Hereditary, they're two of the most overrated films that this company has produced, and let alone the two most overrated horror films I've ever seen. I never understood the praise for those films. I never understood it. With all the silly shit that happened in both those films, Midsommar, I mean, two old people, here I go again, fall off a cliff, and they get their heads smashed by a freaking giant mallet, and what do the guys do? Oh, they complain about the freaking thesis. Instead of getting the hell out of there, these people are crazy, Or especially when it rips off the Wicker Man, Or Hereditary with the kid wearing the freaking come on, you might as well see it. It's a Burger King crown. Come on. Jeez. I mean, come on, it's a Burger King crown. It looks exactly like it. I'm supposed to take these films seriously. But anyway, I had to go off tangent on that though, but it just shows that when this film does like this, in the complete opposite of what those horror films have done, it says something a lot. But anyway, so that's this big DVD update. It's been a while since I did one, so all these films, like I said. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this another big DVD update. So a lot of pretty good ones I've enjoyed that I've seen, and a couple of some other ones I still have not seen though, but still. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you next time. Later.